Video games. If you're watching this video, chances are you've probably bought a couple or two. Whether you went for a physical copy or a digital copy, as gamers, we've definitely spent quite a bit of money on games. I can say for sure that the journey for me has definitely been steep in the money department. Regardless of this fact, video games continue to increase in price as the many years and decades continue to pass by. I remember when video games made the jump to $70 only a couple of years ago. This completely caught me by surprise, as I assumed we wouldn't jump in price for quite a while, and I thought surely we couldn't get higher than 60, right? Oh boy, was I wrong. In today's video, we'll be covering the dramatic increase in prices of video games, specifically on the recent moves made by Nintendo and Microsoft. We'll talk about how this change will affect gamers like you and I alike, as well as the potential future we could see as prices increase at this exponential rate. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably seen Nintendo's crazy prices for the Nintendo Switch 2, the accessories, and the games that release with it. The console itself prices at roughly $450 USD for the base model and about $500 for the bundle, which includes a copy of Mario Kart World, digital by the way. If we're being completely honest, the console itself is priced at pretty much what I thought it would be. The main issue lies in the price of the games. We have Mario Kart World being priced at a whopping $80 USD, which is absurdly high. There was also a rumor going around that the physical copy of Mario Kart World would be even higher, being priced at $90, but this was proven false based on a price listing on Walmart, so we can confirm that this isn't the case. Even so, this $80 price tag has fans around the world complaining and showing retaliation towards Nintendo, and rightfully so. I mean, imagine being a kid asking for a copy of the brand new Mario Kart game, right? If I was a parent personally, I'd reject that instantly upon hearing that price. $80 is crazy, but it's not even just the games that have seen a dramatic increase in their prices. Even the accessories are insanely high, and have me personally thinking whether or not I'll actually purchase any of them anytime soon. We got $85 for the new Pro controllers, $95 for the Joy-Cons. It's really getting out of hand. Now there's a couple reasons as to why the prices have jumped as high as they have, but we'll get into that into a later part into this video. Honestly though, I think what's most interesting about this whole situation is how quickly another company decided to jump into the race, that being Microsoft. Microsoft recently made a post on social media announcing their price change following the US tariffs, stating their consoles, games, and accessories would be receiving an increase in their prices. Specifically, they state that by the holiday season, first-party games would be seeing an increase to $80 USD, which matches what Mario Kart World is hitting right now for Nintendo. We also see that the cheapest model for the Xbox Series S, the 512GB, is seeing a price increase from $300 to $380, while the Xbox Series X is seeing a whopping $100 increase from $500 to $600. While the games will retain their current prices until the holiday season, the consoles and accessories are seeing their prices increase as of May 1st. This is a huge blow to the gaming community, as we're seeing two pillars of the gaming industry increasing their prices. So it's not very long before who knows when Sony's going to make their transition as well. I'm personally intrigued as to why Microsoft made this decision as soon as they did, considering at this moment, especially with the Switch 2 being announced, Microsoft is probably the majority of gamers' last choice when it comes to consoles and games. I mean, I've never had a problem with Xbox myself. In fact, a lot of my fond memories come from playing Xbox, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, but I just don't play with the company that much anymore, and I think that's just the case for a lot of gamers. It's really odd that the company, being at its lowest point, I'd say, of popularity, would decide to make a decision like this so fast after Nintendo. Now, at this moment in time, we have no idea whether or not the third-party games will see this increase anytime soon, but I don't think other development studios will just simply keep their prices as they are, just to appeal to the general audience. At the end of the day, just like any industry, the goal is to make profit. So if the prices are increasing for other companies like Nintendo, that's what the other smaller third-party companies will do as well. Speaking of the market, I guess it would be best to talk about how that is directly affecting this whole situation as well. The US market at this point has been quite hectic if you're not aware. Specifically, there's been an uproar pertaining to the recent tariffs on foreign goods, and now I'm not an expert on all of this, nor do I really like talking about it, but I'm gonna do my best to try and explain this as much as possible and give as much context as I can as to why this is affecting the gaming industry. Now, if you have no idea what a tariff even is, I'll try to explain that as best as I can. Basically, it's a tax imposed by the government on foreign goods. That's the simplest way to put it. And what these taxes do is promote domestic production of goods, basically protecting domestic goods from foreign competition. At this point in time, President Trump has issued new tariffs that affect a lot of the products that we in the US use daily. I mean, this can be things like clothing, foods, and just a lot more. In fact, as I'm writing this script, we've just been told that there's going to be 100% tariff on foreign movies. So that's going to affect a lot of the sick anime movies that come out and are produced in Japan. This is going to affect the rate at which we see the foreign films, in the United States, as well as production in the United States. We don't even know if these studios are even going to want to put these movies in the US anymore because of these tariffs. Now, there are a lot of countries that are affected by tariffs, but for this video, I want to specifically focus on two of them, that being China and Vietnam. Now, I assume a lot of people may be wondering why Japan isn't included in this discussion. Well, that is because when talking about the Switch 2, we have to go based on where the development and manufacturing of the console took place, which actually isn't Japan. From what I understand, Nintendo typically does most of their manufacturing in China for the most case, and this was the case for most of their products leading up to the Switch 2. Now, for the Switch 2, however, they actually swapped to Vietnam, I think, in order to prepare for the shift in the global market. And that is a smart move on their part, but they couldn't have predicted that the tariffs would actually get higher in Vietnam than they were actually in China. So that in turn also affected the prices negatively for them. What I ultimately think resulted is pretty much the prices that we're seeing now. Notice how the accessories for the Switch 2 are what we really seen the price increase, because they really didn't actually touch the games when we got the announcement for them after the delay in pre-orders. The games, however, they weren't a result of the tariffs. The original price of the games that we see, that is what they were going to be priced at. So we can't actually really blame the tariffs for this at all. That is honestly one of the biggest things that it's crazy to me, because it wasn't even the tariffs in general that really affected the games at all. It's just the price of them now. That's just how it is. Now, with that out of the way, I think it's important that we just go and we take a look at how this is going to affect us as gamers in the future, how these decisions is going to change how other companies act and price their games later on. Basically, now we've seen Microsoft take their chance to increase the prices as fast as they have. It's only a matter of time before Sony or even smaller companies decide to make the change. But I mean, can you really blame them? In an economy that is so inconsistent, quite frankly a mess, companies have to make these choices that result in more profit on their end, which in turn will most likely end up increasing prices again for us as consumers. And if you're anything like me, we're usually quick to blame companies for being too greedy, which, to be fair, sometimes is the case, but we also tend to disregard the other factors that influence these prices. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the video right there. Hopefully you guys were able to gain some insight on the current state of the gaming market. There's a lot of other points I could have mentioned here, but that could have went on for quite a while. Plus, I think this did a good job explaining the most important parts that are relevant to this situation. Hope you all enjoyed the video today, and if you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing and helping us reach 100 subscribers. We greatly appreciate it. We've also got a Discord server if you're interested, and the link will be in the description. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.